Perfect. So yeah, first of all, I want to thank both Talia and Aleida for their presentations. They're really awesome. I think today it's the highlight of my year to be a speaker together with them. So I'm really humbled. Yeah, we only have a few minutes today. So what I really want to discuss today is how to get SEO clients on board. So I'm taking a slightly different angle compared to my colleagues, but I think my presentation will be very useful for both agencies and consultants that are looking to get new business for their agencies or as consultants, and also for businesses that are looking to find the right SEO or digital marketing agency that to establish a partnership with. So I'm going to talk about maybe 3 points today. So the first one is how and where to find new SEO clients to get on board. And then I move on to a topic that is very important to me, and I think it is really discussed much in the industry, and it is why agencies fail when they look for new SEO clients. What are the main mistakes that I think we make, and I surely made them in the past, and I've learned from them. And then what we can do as consultants and agencies to give value to the prospects right from the first touch points. And I've kind of created a framework which I've called NEAR. It's a very simple framework, but I hope you get value out of it. So let's get into it straight away. So I think I think the biggest mistake that SEO agencies make is that they sometimes take on projects that for one reason or another they simply aren't a good fit for them. So the first thing would be to dice whether you are pitching your services to a big corporation, so big brands, or to SMEs. And before you get down to any kind of outreach, you really have to segment your prospects and refine your list and make sure that you're reaching the right people in the right way. So for instance, if you're trying to connect with big corporations or with brands, then probably the people that you want to communicate with will usually have a title such as digital marketing director or head of SEO or marketing director. If instead you are trying to connect with small and medium enterprises, then the person you want to communicate with probably will have a title such as founder or co-founder or CEO. So I think it's really important to define your market as tightly as possible, because you can't really be all things to all businesses. You should, I think, pick your favorite industry, the one you are more interested or passionate about, and also clarify what kind of niche and the size of business you want to target, and then expand your sales efforts within the area. So in terms of where we can go to find new clients and new businesses. So there are many opportunities out there. So the first one is certainly to leverage a business database. We actually use one at my agency here in Italy, which is called Atoka, and it's really great because you can filter by business size, revenue, like location. So, and you can really filter down to many characteristics, like as many as you want. And then what I think is great is combine this kind of tool with a direct LinkedIn email to the key stakeholders of the businesses that you like to work with. A second option would be to dig into forums like Yahoo Answers or Quora and Google Product, because it is true that some of the people that are writing all those sites might be like small, like consultants themselves, but just people that are trying to learn more about SEO and digital marketing. But at the same time, there might be people that have their own businesses that have real challenges that are trying to face, and by replying to them and showing that we have an interest in partnering, in establish a partnership with them, then we can get a business out of it. Another option would be to create a complete profile on the main freelancing platforms. There are many out there like Freelancer, Upwork or Simply Hire, just to name a few. Again, here you can find people that are looking for like small projects, like probably not they don't have much money to pay, or they only need someone for a brief period of time. But there might be also people that, again, have real challenges to develop a long-term strategy, SEO strategy for their companies, and they might post a request on those sites. Another option would be to leverage the chambers of commerce in your city or where you are. So having a connection there that can kind of work as a middleman between your agency and the companies in the local areas might also be a great idea. And then finally, I think this is crucial, and most of the times is not that leveraged as a tool, is the website itself. So I think it's very important before you start with the client hunt to just sit down and make up a comprehensive list of keywords that you would use while searching for digital marketing services and SEO related terms, and more specific key phrases. Preferably related to the aspects of SEO that you specialize in. So why agencies fail? So the first thing I think, and I mentioned it already, is that most of the time they don't pre-qualify clients. What do I mean with that? Sometimes, you know, there's a tendency to pick up clients just because maybe it's a period of lows, so we don't have really many clients or many, you know, much revenue coming in. So we just, you know, get new business on board, but we don't have a budget, or they set really unrealistic expectations, or the product is not really viable, or maybe they don't really need our services, but they just want SEO because SEO is trendy and is fashionable. Another reason why I think agencies fail to find the right clients is that they fail to analyze the competitive landscape of a certain business. So some fields are really competitive, such as travel or finance, for instance. And I think this is crucial to understand really who are you dealing with and what's the competitive landscape that we have to face. Another reason would be, again, that there are the expectations that are set are unrealistic. So the client want to rank and very quickly for highly competitive terms, or they just want a complete website redesign in 3 weeks, or a migration, that will roll on very quickly without any sort of loss in traffic. So again, it's a matter of understanding what they're expecting from you and what you can actually give them and in what timings also. And then another problem would be that agencies sometimes take on projects that they don't really have know-how or the resources to actually face the project, and also they fail to confirm or even establish from the beginning what the objectives are. And specifically about this point, I like to say that to understand the business objectives of the clients is really crucial, because first of all, it helps us understand the internal budget and resource allocation, and also the focus, because we are able then to adjust the project and the forecasting when top business priorities override the SEO task. And also, the more aware we are of the overall business objectives, then the more we are able to contribute. So when we start an SEO project, or when we take a new client on board, I think it's really the first step, and I think it might be simplistic, but it's really to care about the business. If you don't care about the product or business that of the brand you're working for, then trying to market it, it's really, I think it's a losing battle. I've experienced it in the past, and it's not a fun one. And to develop the skill, I think it's very important to deeply understand and appreciate whatever it is you're marketing. So really take time to understand the market, understand how the internal processes work, and just, you know, learn to love the product or the service that you're trying to make, that you're improving, that you're trying to improve the visibility for. So in order to, you know, impress a new client from the start, I developed, as I said before, a framework which is called NEAR, and it's basically made of 4 components, which can really be used at any time of the project or the relationship with the client. But I think they are mainly useful at the beginning, right from the start. So the first is to nurture, the second one is to educate, analyze, and finally relate. And I explain a bit what each of these means in practice right now. So when I talk about nurturing, I think, you know, it's the first thing to establish a solid partnership with a client. It's to become really to develop a human relationship with them. So, and that starts when there's a first touch point on LinkedIn. So it's not just about sending an email and then, you know, offering our services and describing who we are as an agency. Pretty much like what Talia was saying before, like making the thing about them and not about us. So maybe take some time at the beginning to understand what they share on LinkedIn, what posts they share, what posts they like, and establish a conversation with them and understand a bit more about their personality and their interests as well, and also about what their role actually is in the company. And very related to this, it's about, you know, learning about the internal processes and what the buyer personas are for the businesses. Very, very important. I think SEO is not too much like, it is very technical, but it should be an enabler for businesses. So we should become people and consultants that facilitate the internal processes and and just make it easier for businesses to gain more clients and to make clients happy. And I think SEO plays a crucial role in this. Another thing would be it's just a tip, but I've used it in the past and it really worked, to send potential clients a brochure of the business with a voucher for an online competitor analysis or a free audit. That works really well, again, because we prove that it's not about us, but it's about improving their businesses and their website. And then we also another thing that I've used with my agency recently, it's like we sent a postcard with a picture of the team to a potential client, and we told them what keywords they were ranking well and what keywords they were ranking not so well. If they were interested in ranking higher, we left our email address and, you know, just to ask them to be in touch with us. And we actually got a really good reply, feedback from this kind of activity. The second pillar would be to educate. So educate means, you know, sharing the passion and the knowledge of the whole team. I think that means obviously stay active on social media profiles such as Facebook and LinkedIn for sure. If we have worked in a specific industry in the past, I think case studies are very important. So put together as many case studies as you can, so they can download it, and that can be also a lead magnet for attracting new contacts. Another thing that I think works really well is to prove our knowledge and our skills directly on their websites. What I mean is, for instance, offering to write a piece of content for free on their blog, and by doing that, you know, also take the chance to explaining the benefits of blogging and how content creation can have a positive impact on SEO efforts and also on link building, brand awareness, and thought leadership. So we actually work directly on their website by writing something in a piece of content that would be helpful for them. And also, I think organizing monthly webinars on SEO related topic, it's also a very good way to educate people now that are constantly on the move. The third pillar would be to analyze. So analysis is, there's no SEO without analysis. And so the first thing would be at the very initial steps to prepare a free SEO analysis for the clients, where we tell, we tell them about missed link opportunities, any error that can be shown on Search Console, like 404 errors, any metadata that are not updated or not present, content that is duplicated or out of date, anything that can be can prove the client, your site is not performing as well as it could. And it's also a great way to start a dialogue with a potential client, and show again that they are first and not they are first and not the agency. And also analyze the competitors, so dive really into how they're presenting their products and services, in addition to understanding what they're ranking for and what's driving traffic to their site. The last point would be to relate. And relate to me means, of course, develop a relationship and, touching base with them frequently, but also marketing automation. I think it's a great tool that can help us segment the users based on their site behavior. So whenever we have, leads coming to our site, coming from different landing pages and inquiring about different things, but even just, even if they don't inquire about anything, just based on how they behave, follow up with them and with content that might be relevant to them. And again, just prove that we are there to help them. And I think it's really important to leverage our website as a selling machine through marketing automation. And also, the final thing would be to not just attend SEO events. So it's quite usual to see agencies that just go to big conferences about digital marketing and to just be there, and there's hundreds of other agencies that do exactly the same thing. So, and that's not really the best way to gain new clients. So I think thinking out of the box is very important. Just go to conferences about specific niches or startups, and there are places where you can network with your target audience and find new clients. So just to close up, a few final thoughts. So choose the client wisely and understand their real business challenges, and see how SEO can integrate into those processes. Hire, I think this is very important, hire the best specialists and train them to become enablers for the client they serve, and also teach them to be creative, to be empathic, and of course to be technically savvy. And then develop a strong relationship with the clients and learn everything you can about their customers and processes. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm here.